now.
There's a problem. We need to go.
What's up, man? How you been?
I'm great, man. Made it through the other side.
Another great character for you. You just have such a roster of different characters that I really respect, like the diversity of the roles you play in your career.
Yeah, it's humanity. You know, you're going through each tone along the way. You know, some of them are the key of A, and some of them end up in the key of B. You know, or all the way to G. Yeah. And sometimes, you know, it's hard to make it all the way around, but until you're able to do that, you really don't get to see your own humanity, because every character you play really is centered around you as the apex. And each character becomes a hub, you know, or an isotope, unless they are finished. Because an isotope is, you know, like carbon, when it tries to make its full way around past silicon, if it's unable to do it after the 5th octave, then it becomes an isotope. And all lead and gold and all of those are just isotopes of carbon that was unable to make the full wave amplitude.
Wow. This brother's always like super deep with everything. Tell me about your career now, though, as opposed to like when you're starting out and roles might have been harder for you to get and everything else. Like, how much different is it now to be sought after for movie roles, and to have like such a year like this and like last year where you got The Butler and
I forgot The Butler
and all these other movies that.
I mean, it started off initially I wanted to be Will Smith, and so I go around trying to do interviews or do auditions, you know, with Will Smith's energy, because you want what he has achieved. When I stopped trying to be Will Smith and started becoming Terrence Howard, and recognizing, like, I figured out my name. It means princely and kind and a smooth polished stone. There's no Will Smith in my name.
Right.
Once I recognized who I was and that I had won the race to get to life against 500 million of my own brothers and sisters in order to penetrate and fertilize that egg. If I won a 500 million man race today, a 24-hour blind marathon, I'd be on the cover of every magazine. Once I recognized that, I was already a winner. The accolades, they're there, you know, and I stopped chasing it, and therefore it comes to you. Because when you're chasing it, all the things it's trying to get to you, you keep running around and it's trying to catch up to you. Yeah. And you're afraid of that which is coming to you, the momentum. But when you stop and you're still, and you don't run from the good things coming to you, you're able to achieve. But my character in this movie, he was afraid of what he had built up. He was afraid of the karmic retribution that was on its way. So he was always running, always running. And I think the most beautiful thing of him in this movie was when he stopped and said, okay, it's happening and it's coming to my house. I no longer can hide and act like I'm a good guy in this neighborhood. You know, let's be naked, let's take a shower, this is me, this is who I am. And there's this great guy named Rod McEwen that said a long time ago in one of his poems, he said, it was about reconciling with an old lover. He said, we'll go naked in the afternoon and you'll see that I'm only me. Have you expected something different all this time? You know, which very insightful.
So one thing about the other character is that he thinks, in a way, he lets revenge get in the way of what's right in front of him. And I think that's, do you think that that's something that people often have to deal with, letting what they want to get back get in the way of what's already there in front of them?
Yeah, we hold resentment for what has occurred to us, and we forget that everything that occurs, we can behave to it. We can polarize to it or be depolarized as a result of it. And if you polarize with it and allow the change to occur and not to become frightened, what I found with my daughter, and when she had my granddaughter, I found that life is eternal. I realized I was immortal when my granddaughter was born, because I could see my great-grandmother, I could see my mother in her, I could see myself in her. And if I held on to the past or was afraid to die or afraid to pay for or let go of the resentment of what had happened, I would never be able to see the beauty of her in her face. If I was still sad about my mother being dead and not recognizing the life of my mother and my grandchild, then I would lose out on the joy that tomorrow has. Noomi, her character, he could have really fell in love deeply and had a good life after that, but they were both seeking revenge, and they'll both have to pay for it down the line.
Wow. Hey, brother, you should write some books too, man. You always have so many nice little tidbits.
This is my land.
What attracts an audience is not necessarily explosions and special effects and CGI. It's actually what happens between people. That's what connects with an audience.